Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap. I'm Tanushree and this is our next video of NABARD Grade A to Z series, and in our today's video we are going to discuss the complete strategy for the ESI, that is Economics and Social Issues. Now in this series so far we have discussed about the eligibility, pattern, vacancies of the NABARD Grade A examination. After that, we have discussed about the books, the competition level, the cutoff trends, and the decoded syllabus of NABARD. Now, in today's video, from letter E, we are going to discuss about ESI, that is Economics and Social Issues. This video, it is primarily targeted towards those students who are either at the preparation stage, that is they have started the preparation for NABARD Grade A examination, or who have already given an attempt and who think that they need some refinement in their strategy of how they look towards or how they attempt ESI. So for all those students, this video is there. Now students, if you are somebody who already have this entire knowledge about the ESI paper, how to approach it, and if you are scoring really well in your previous attempts in this particular paper, then I would suggest you that please don't spend a lot of time on this particular video. Instead, devote this time to something more productive like revising your syllabus or giving some mock test. Do anything, right? So this is my disclaimer before I start this video. On this note, let us begin. Now students, you might be having this question in your mind, this doubt in your mind that ma'am, already on this particular topic there are hundreds and thousands of video, then why watch this another video on this strategy part as far as the ESI is concerned? Yes students, I completely agree with you that there are a lot of videos which are already there on the ESI strategy, but in this particular video, first of all, we are going to see the detailed strategy, and this strategy is up to date on the basis of what we saw in 2024 paper. Apart from that, here I'm not just going to tell you about what to do, but also I will tell you how to do, what to read, how to read, and what not to do, right? Apart from that, students, here we are going to have a look at certain examples also. I think I have right, so here we are going to have a look at certain examples also which will make things clear to you, right? So on that note, let us start our today's session. Now students, apart from the ESI strategy, there must be a lot of other information which you are seeking as far as the NABARD Grade A exam is concerned, NABARD as an organization is concerned. So although in our A to Z series we are going to discuss about all this information, but still a lot of students, they prefer to read the information in the written format, or even after you watch this particular video, after a certain time you might feel like going through the same information again. So for all these reasons, we have created this NABARD Grade A guidebook. You can go through this and you can download this guidebook from the description box below. The link is given in the description box and it is free of cost to download this guidebook, right? On this note, let us start our today's session in which we are going to discuss the ESI strategy. Now students, as far as the ESI is concerned, so the first question arises, where all are we going to witness ESI? ESI हमें हमारे एग्जाम में कहाँ देखने को मिलेगा? तो basically we see ESI in phase 1 objective form, right, where ESI is worth 40 marks and it is part of the merit section, right? Then we see ESI in the phase 2. In the phase 2 exam, we see it both in the objective form as well as the descriptive form, right? So these are the three areas where we are going to see the ESI. Now students, before I tell you about what to study and how to study, let me very clearly tell you a fact here at the forefront itself, that as far as the ESI is concerned, the static part, it accounts for only 10%, but in the paper, the major part is given weightage, like it is the current affairs which is given more weightage to, that is up to 90% weightage it is given to your current affairs part, right? So that is the importance of the current affairs in the ESI, right? Be it your phase 1, be it your phase 2 exam, or even the descriptive part, here the major chunk of your paper, it is devoted to the current affairs. But nonetheless, we are going to discuss the entire strategy for the static also and for the current also. So let us first see the static strategy. Now as far as the static part is concerned, this is the syllabus of the ESI, and I have explained this entirely to you in the decoded syllabus video part, so you can go and check it out from there, right? apart from that, you might be thinking that what are certain most important chapters as far as the ESI is concerned. So students, here is the list of the most important chapters as far as the ESI static part is concerned, especially from the objective perspective, right? Inflation, balance of payment, monetary policy, fiscal policy, measurement of growth, sustainable development and environmental issues, international economic institutions, right? So these are few chapters. Now students, I am 100% sure that there are two doubts which you might be having right now in your mind. That first of all, that ma'am, if the weightage is only 10%, that out of 40 marks, hardly 4 to 5 marks worth of ESI comes, and that this can be zero as well, right? 0 marks worth of ESI static can be there as well. So you might be thinking that just for 4 to 5 marks, is it important for us to read these chapters, right? Can we do without can we do about without going through all these chapters, right? And the second question that you might be having in your mind is that can I leave all other chapters? Even if I have to do that, then can I leave all the other chapters and can I focus simply on these chapters? So students, my answer to you is a big no. Please don't commit this blunder. Now, why I am saying so? See, the first reason is that for you to understand the current affairs, it is very important to have the knowledge about the basics of ESI, right? Very important for you to know what are the basic concepts as far as the current affairs are basics of ESI are concerned, so that you can understand the current affairs in a better manner, right? Apart from that, students, especially in the descriptive part, sometimes we see few questions. Let me show you that. If you see this particular question, that this was something which was asked in paper 2023, that write a note on India's demographic dividend and what are the challenges involved in utilizing it, right? So this is a descriptive question worth 15 marks which was asked in 2023, and this is not something which is out of syllabus. This topic, demographic trends, it is given in our syllabus, right? So such kind of descriptive questions too can be asked from static. And remember students, if in your phase 2 examination you are not able to answer a 15 marker or even a 10 marker, trust me, you are out of the race, right? Because the competition, it is very brutal, especially in the phase 2 examination, right? And therefore, for these two reasons, for you to understand the current affairs better and for you to answer the descriptive static questions better, it is very important that you go through the chapters of the ESI. Yes, what you can do is that instead of going very deep for all these chapters, you can do a cursive reading. You can read them in a quick manner so that you understand the concept. You need not to make very in-depth notes of it or keep on updating it. That is something which is not required, but at least you should know what are you reading in the ESI. The basics of ESI, they should be clear to you. At least you should have read something or you have understood each and every term that is mentioned in your syllabus, right? So I hope with this, the how part of ESI is now clear to you, right? The static part, static ESI is clear to you. Now let us discuss about the most important and the heart and soul of ESI, that is the current affairs. What to study, how to study, let us discuss about them. Now students, as far as the current affairs for ESI are concerned, we can divide them into three areas: government schemes, reports and indices, and current affairs. These are the three areas which majorly form a part of our ESI current affairs. Apart from these, certain ARD related current affairs can be there, but this is something we are going to discuss when we will discuss about the ARD, and they are asked in the ESI part because the term agriculture, it is mentioned in our syllabus, right? But we are not going to discuss about the ARD current affairs in our today's session. We are going to discuss them when we are going to have a detailed strategy of the ARD part, right? So government schemes, reports and indices, and ESI related current affairs. These are the three areas which you have to cover as far as the ESI current affairs are concerned. Now, as far as the government schemes are concerned, you have to study the schemes which are somewhere related to our syllabus, right? So, for example, there is this pension scheme, financial inclusion schemes like PM Jan Dhan Yojana, schemes related to the agriculture are very important. For example, Matsya Sampada Yojana, PM Kisan. Then schemes related to the employment generation such as NAREGA, RBI schemes, social issues, the schemes which are related to the social justice. All these schemes became very, very important because they are directly related to our syllabus, right? Now the question arises from where we have to read them and how many months of schemes are important from our exam perspective. Remember students, as far as the schemes are concerned, you have to read them for around 3 to 5 months. Now you might be having this doubt in your mind that ma'am, there are so many schemes, and some schemes like in question paper you might have seen schemes from 2020 also, 2015 also, 2005 also. So how many schemes to cover? Because in Indian agriculture itself there are more than 100 schemes, right? So which scheme to study, which scheme to leave, how to prioritize things? See students, as far as the source for schemes are concerned, so it is the PIB. You have to refer the PIB. Now students, no matter whether a particular scheme is new or old, if it is there in the PIB in last 3 to 5 months, right, just 3 to 5 months preceding your exam, if these schemes they are in the news, they become important, right? If like you don't have to read all the schemes of last 3 to 4 years, no, that is not required. You have to study here the schemes of last 3 to 5 months, but that scheme which is there in the news in last 3 to 5 months, that can be an older scheme also. Like for example, NAREGA, it is in the news, right? Like if it is there in the news, you have to study about it no matter when it was released. Similarly, PM Kisan, right, top schemes. So these schemes, if they are in the news, you have to do them, right? And they can be in the news for any reason, like if any update has been there, or if new beneficiary has been added over there, if their allocation has been increased. So for any particular reason, if this scheme is there in the news in last 3 to 5 months, then you have to cover it, right? So that is how you have to decide what is your priority schemes, right? Now, again, the question arises what to study in a particular scheme also. So students, as far as the schemes are concerned, so first of all, you need to know why that particular scheme was in the news, for what particular reason. If the funding has been increased, if new beneficiary has been added, whatever the reason is, you should know why it is there in the news. After that, you have to study about the certain static parts of that scheme, like which is the nodal ministry, the launch year, the funding pattern, budget allocation, what are the objectives. It is very, very important because many a times when descriptive questions are asked from the schemes, they are primarily on the objectives of that particular scheme. And then you also have to study about the target beneficiaries. Now students, objectives and targeted beneficiaries, and apart from that, if there are any sub schemes, so these are the areas which you have to cover, and you have to cover them in a good enough depth. Because for example, in our 2024 paper itself, there was one scheme in which the targeted beneficiary was family, right? The family was the targeted beneficiary. Now the question paper asked to define the term family, who all are included in the term family, right? So in this depth you have to study the scheme. So these are the areas that you have to cover, but you have to cover them in a good enough manner, right? Now, moving ahead, after the government schemes, you have to study the reports and indices. Now, the question arises, what sort of reports and indices have to be studied? So, students, again, the reports and indices which are related directly to our syllabus, that is something that you have to study. For example, economic survey, union budget, reports on trends and progress in banking sector by RBI, right? Banking, it is a part of our syllabus. World Development Report by World Bank, World Economic Outlook by IMF, right? So all the reports which are related to our syllabus of ESI, these are the things that you have to study. Okay? For example, if you see here, this is the question paper, this is the question from 2023, right? Again from 2023, and in this particular question, they are asking that the value of India's score in RBI's Financial Inclusion Index has increased in 2023. In this context, discuss the challenges to financial inclusion in India. Now, whatever challenges you are right, if you are writing just the general challenges, you might not score that well. But if you are discussing the challenges, in light of this particular report, then you will fetch good marks, right? So these kind of questions are asked. This is one example of descriptive questions, but a lot of questions are being asked in the objective part as well. So you have to study the reports, and as far as the reports are concerned, as I have already told you, that these are something which you have to study by having a look at the syllabus. For example, the term banking has been mentioned over here, right? And then development, again development is a part of our syllabus. Okay, poverty, gender equality, gender issues, they are part of our syllabus. So all the reports which are related to these particular terms of our syllabus terms, they become important to us. Now you might be thinking how many months of reports needs to be covered here. So again students, for reports also the standard timeline remains 3 to 5 months, right? So you have to study the reports of like 3 to 5 months preceding the examination, right? Now you might be thinking that first of all, there are so many organizations, right, and they release so many reports, so how to cover all of them? See students, as far as so many reports are concerned, so for that I have already answered you that you have to look at the syllabus. Now as far as so many organizations are concerned, right, so for organizations you have to read the reports which are released by the prominent or the organizations which have some stature, right, like the World Bank, IMF. If they are releasing any report, that becomes important for us, right? Any normal organization releasing a report, that is not important for us. Okay, if Niti Aayog is releasing any report, yes, it is important. Okay, so in this manner we have to see the organizations, right, which organizations to prefer as far as the reports are concerned. Now again, you must be having this question in your mind that how to read such big reports, because these are not small reports, they are pages that they run into hundreds and hundreds. So how to read such big reports? See students, as far as these reports are concerned, first of all, if those reports, they are released by the prominent Indian organizations, so their summary or their highlights, it will be provided by the PIB or any newspaper, right? So you can refer to that, the important points, it is important, and you can refer to that. Apart from that, most of the reports, even if they are released by the big organizations, they have executive summary, right? In the beginning or at the end, they provide an executive summary. You can go through this executive summary of the reports to make sure that you are covering these reports in a good enough manner, and at the same time not wasting a lot of time on that. Okay, even if this is not enough, then you can refer to any YouTube channel. Most of the YouTube channels, they do provide us this summaries of the important reports. Okay, for there are a lot of free initiatives even on our own YouTube channel. We have such initiatives which are running free of cost, so you can refer to these initiatives to read the summary of these reports, right? So that is what you can do as far as the reports are concerned. Now, the third area as far as the ESI current affairs are concerned, it is the ESI related current affairs only. Now, what is meant by this term ESI related current affairs? So, these are the current affairs which are related, again, obviously to the syllabus only, but such as if there are any GDP projections are there, inflation related estimates have been provided, right? If some summit has happened in like some G20 summit or some any economic institution, if newly formed economic institution has taken place, or if some summit has taken place, so that becomes important. So such kind of current affairs needs to be covered over here, right students? So in this manner we have seen what kind of current affairs needs to be covered. Now let us see, right? So here we have covered the static part of both the object phase 1 phase 2. We have seen the current affairs part of again phase 1 and phase 2. Now let us see the descriptive part as far as the phase 2 exam is concerned. Now students, to prepare for the phase 2 descriptive parts, again you have to refer to three things. First of all, the reports. I have already shown you that there are questions which can be asked from the reports. Secondly, you have to prepare the schemes. Again, a lot of questions are asked from this particular topic, especially the objectives of the schemes, or like what are the challenges in implementing a particular scheme. So such kind of questions are being asked here. Apart from that, you also have to read the editorials. This will help you in forming the viewpoints, right? In forming the viewpoints as far as your answers are concerned, descriptive answers are concerned, this will broaden the horizon in which you think. Okay, if you have to think of the stakeholders, so reading the editorials on a regular basis, it broadens your horizon, right? So these are the things that you have to cover if you have to prepare in a good enough manner for your descriptive part, right? Now, the descriptive part, it is not just about the preparation, right? So what you have to do is something we have seen, but how you have to do, as I have promised you in the beginning of the video also, that we are also going to see how you have to prepare for certain things. So as far as the how part is concerned, so there is a 7-point agenda, 7 plus 1 actually. So there is a 7-point agenda which you have to keep in mind while preparing for the ESI descriptive part, right? And in this manner you will gain the skills that are required to write a good answer, right? So the first point is recall versus recognition. Now students, here if I ask you what does the Google logo looks like, and I give you 4 options, it is very easier for you to identify, okay, this is what the Google logo looks like. But if I ask you what is the color of letter G, what is the color of letter O, right? So then it will be very challenging for you to answer, right? So that is precisely the difference between recall and recognition, right? In recall, we have to recall what we have learned, right? But in the recognition is something which we generally use in our objective type of questions. There are 4 options which are given to us, and we know that the answer lies in these 4 options only, right? We just have to identify the correct option, right? So that is the recognition. In the phase 1 examination, in the objective part of the phase 2, what you have to do is the recognition part, but the descriptive is a different ball game altogether, because the skill it requires is the recall. When I ask you what are the objectives of the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, you should be able to tell me just like that. You should know the objectives on the fingerprint on your fingertips. Only then you will be able to write very smooth, very fabulous answers in your examination. So the first thing is that recall. If you are preparing for the descriptive part, then you should remember the facts, you should remember the objectives, you have to remember what you are supposed to write in the descriptive part. Otherwise you will not be able to write good answers, right? So the first requirement is the recall, right? The second area is the spelling and the grammatical mistakes. So students, it is not that a lot of us don't know the spellings. In our today's video itself, you might have think that how many spelling mistakes I have made. So I wrote the wrong spelling of the example. I wrote wrong spelling of the channel. It's not that I don't know the spellings. Of course I know the spellings, right? But the problem is we are living in era of auto correction. So here it becomes slightly difficult for us to remember the correct spellings while we are typing, because at the moment when we are typing, or when we have so many things going in our mind at the same time, it becomes difficult to remember the exact spelling, or sometimes we just end up making the silly mistakes like I did in today's video, right? So such kind of mistakes can be there. But if you are writing for an officer's level exam, right, for an officer level exam, then you have to make sure that your answer, it is free of the spelling and the grammatical errors. You don't have to write any fancy English, but whatever English you are writing, it should be free from spelling or grammatical errors. Otherwise it will give a very bad impression on the evaluator, right? So this is the second thing that you have to keep in mind. The third thing that you have to keep in mind is the typing speed. A lot of students struggle at this particular point, that the typing speed, it is not that great. See students, if you want to complete your paper on time, then you do require the typing speed of 30 to 40 words per minute, right? And this typing speed is required because along with the typing, when you look at a particular question, you need time to read that particular question. You need time to think of the answer that you are going to write in that particular question. So 30 to 40 words per minute, that is the typing speed which is required for our NABARD graded descriptive paper, right? And this is again something which you can achieve just by practice. Now a lot of you have this question, where to practice? So students, you can practice it on your own using the notepad app, right? So in our desktops, we have an inbuilt notepad app. You can use that. So what you have to do, like if this is your desktop screen and if this is the like entire layout of the notepad app, then reduce it to like this size, right? You have to reduce it to this particular size and then do the typing, because the interface in the NABARD grade examination looks like this, right? Like this smaller space is provided over there. So you reduce the app or the screen of the app to this particular size, and then you have to do the typing, right? So that is how you can do your practice as far as the typing speed is concerned. Now, sometimes students, there can be an issue of freezed word limits also. So for example, if the word limit is 400 words, then they freeze at 400. They don't allow you to write beyond the 400 words. So practice in such a manner that your word limit, it falls somewhere between 350 to 400. Don't try to overwrite beyond 400 words, right? Then, one very important thing without which your descriptive part remains, useless. It is the topic wise fodder material. See students, for every topic that you are studying, right? If any particular topic that is given in our syllabus, you are studying that, then for that you need to have the fodder material. Now, what is this fodder material and how can you prepare that particular fodder material? So students, for example, we have the topic of financial inclusion, right? We have the topic of financial inclusion. So first of all, let us together brainstorm what can they ask us. So first of all, you should know what is financial inclusion, right? What is the status of financial inclusion in India? What are the challenges that we face as far as the financial inclusion is concerned? Then you also have to see what are the steps that government is taking, right? So these are the few things which we can see as far as the financial inclusion is concerned, right? Now, after that, once you have done the brainstorming, the second thing that you have to do is to look at the previous year questions. What kind of questions they are asking? For example, just recently we saw that they asked about in the context of an RBI report. So this gives us an idea that if there is any report or if there is any new development with regards to financial inclusion, then that too need to be added, and I have to study all these themes related to this particular report as well. So in this manner, you have to prepare your fodder material revolving around each one of these themes, right? So when you are preparing the fodder material for every topic, you should have this data, what that topic means, right? What are the challenges, what are the reforms, what are the current developments, what are the reports, data, facts, what are the social, economic, legal, political angles to that particular topic, what are the related schemes and certain examples. So in this manner, when you are preparing each and every topic, then your fodder material will be prepared, right? So for example, if you are preparing for the topic health, so here we have written certain details. For example, government spends a mere 2.1% of GDP on healthcare as per the economic survey 2022, which is likely to rise 2.5% by 2025, right? And then here also we have written certain reports, right? That recently released this particular report says this. So such kind of data is something which you can use and which you should use as far as your preparation of fodder material is concerned, right? And this is the fodder material which you have to recall in the exam, right? If you have written these 5 points and if you are able to recall these 5 points in the examination hall, trust me students, you are definitely going to write the fabulous answers in your paper, right? So that was about the topic wise fodder material. Now the sixth challenge which most of the students face while writing their exams, it is the bad interface. Sometimes the keyboard stops working and sometimes it becomes very noisy, because just assume 50 students or 100 students together typing on keyboards, right? It is going to be very noisy. So what you can do, try typing on different kinds of keyboards. Don't become habitual of typing on your own keyboard itself, right? Try typing on different types of keyboards. You can borrow keyboards or laptops from your friends also. Try typing on different keyboards, so that will make you habitual of typing on different like typing in different circumstances also. One more thing which you can do is that on YouTube certain such videos are available, or some certain such sound videos are available where they provide you keyboard sounds, right? So while you are typing, plug in your earphones and try playing these keyboard sounds. They will make you habitual of the actual environment wherein you are going to write the exam, where hundreds and hundreds of students are writing and typing together, where there is going to be a lot of tuck 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 of keyboards, right? So that will make you that will simply make sure that you are accustomed to the kind of environment that you are going to get in the real examination, right? After that, make sure whatever you are writing, you are getting it evaluated. You can join a test series for that. I again give a disclaimer here. Most of the students might start throwing comments on me that, oh, she's selling the courses. No, I'm not selling the courses. This is my honest opinion for you, that you can join a test series because that will help you in getting the professional evaluation done. Otherwise, if you don't want to go for any evaluation, you can simply ask any of your mentors or your friends or even the chat GPT to evaluate answers for you. But do get your answers evaluated, because in our own minds we all write best of the answers. हमें अपने आंसर सबको बहुत अच्छे लगते हैं, but please do get them evaluated so that you can improve on that. The 7+1 tip, the last tip was that at least write one answer daily. Most of the students, they keep answer writing for after the phase 1 gets over, but that is too late. After the phase 1 examination, you are not going to get that much time so that you are able to revise, learn and recall whatever the fodder material that you have prepared, and also doing the answer writing practice, right? So to make sure that you already you are good at answer writing, please at least do answer writing for one answer on a daily basis, right? Now that was all about the strategy as far as the NABARD Grade A ESI syllabus ESI component is concerned. So I hope this video, it was insightful for you. Now students, if you need any sort of help, then you can visit our website edutab.in, and here we have provided dedicated courses for the NABARD Grade A examination. So for NABARD, first of all, we have a 11-hour trial course. Now as part of this 11-hour trial course, we provide you the it is just for ₹1, and herein we provide you a taste of what are the deliverables that we are going to provide in the other examinations, right? So that is what you are going to get as part of the 11-hour trial course. And then apart from that, we have the phase 1 and phase 2 test series, which is launched dedicatedly for those students who have completed their preparation and who just want to test the waters. Then for those of you who only want to prepare for the phase 2 and the interview, we have the NABARD Grade A Silver course. And for those of you who want to prepare for the phase 1, phase 2 and interview, we have the NABARD Grade A Gold course. So on this note, students, I am ending this session here. I hope this was helpful and insightful for you. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the very best.